woke up this morning and realized, hey, Jake, we've got some college football tonight. How's that sound?
Awesome. And not just tonight, but through Monday.
There you go. Welcome back. Welcome to week one of college football 2025-2026 predictions. There's some things we're going to cover that are in the title. We will mention that when we get to the game, because I did mention that game twice, technically. But let's jump right into it. We are on a little bit of a time crunch today. So let's bring up the sheet. And we're not going to start with the two colored boxes. We're going to start below it and then work and then go all the way down and then jump back up to the top. So week one will feature, I should probably have had ESPN up ready to go. 1 second here. College football schedule. All right. Where in the world? There it is. Wow. So we are going to start with an 11 o'clock game on Saturday, even though we have a couple games that are picking, I believe, tonight. And that is going to be Syracuse travels down to Rocky Top to take on the team. Is 13.5 in favor of the 24th ranked Tennessee Volunteers. I think they're not giving Syracuse that much. Well, actually, this game is neutral site, actually. So they're not even going to Rocky Top. They're going to Atlanta. So, neutral site game. Jake, what do you think?
Well, I mean, to be fair, yeah, while they may not be giving Syracuse a lot of love per se, I mean, you are going up against, a playoff team from last year, even though Syracuse, I think, ended up, a game or two short of potentially playing in the ACC championship. But regardless, Tennessee has a lot of players that have kind of come and gone and graduated and this and that and the other thing. But, I mean, it's still Tennessee for me. I'll still pick Rocky Top just because, again, while they might not be in Rocky Top, they're still relatively close. So I feel like, Tennessee fans travel pretty well. And this is going to be one of the featured games of the weekend. So with that said, I'm going to go Tennessee as a normal pick. And, while while Trev kind of does that again, like I say, Tennessee did lose their quarterback last year. Syracuse also lost quite a bit, but I feel like Tennessee could probably recruit a little bit better and also tends to get a lot more high-profile recruits and stuff like that. But as far as their entire roster is concerned, I really don't know much about them. But as I mentioned before, long story short, give me the Tennessee Volunteers over the Syracuse Orange.
Give me just 1 second, guys.
Okay.
Jake, can you fill for a minute?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, can you fill for a second?
Yeah, I can do that. And also, real quick, too, while we gotta wait for Trevor, if I remember right, I think tonight, I don't think we're picking this game, but the night gets started with Boise State taking on, let's see here. Yeah, Boise State takes on South Florida, which will kick off the entire weekend and stuff like that. And again, while we're not really, I don't think we're picking that game. And if we are, well, just, I'll kind of hold off and get my thoughts and opinions on that here in a minute. But yeah, there are a lot of really big matchups in week one. And I'm just happy that football is back. At the end of the day, It all gets kicked off with Boise State and South Florida, and I don't think we're picking that game. But yeah, if you love college football and you love the fall feeling and the fact that the weather's yeah. So, but yeah, I just basically was just kind of giving my thoughts and opinions and just yeah. Give me Tennessee.
Who did you say you were picking? Sorry, that was Andrea that called me.
No, you're good.
Okay.
You're good. Tennessee. Because I feel like
yeah,
they can recruit.
I'm probably going to agree with you.
Yeah, they can recruit better than Syracuse. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, we're having some connection. Computer that I don't have the computer that I used last week, but I should have one not next week, but the following week that we should be able to do better recording sessions. So Jake picks Tennessee. Yeah. I'm going to follow suit with that, even though I think that game's going to be a lot closer than what people are going to predict. Than what people are predicting.
All right.
If it will... Oh, don't you dare tell me my computer just froze on me. Oh, boy. Can you still see me, Jake?
Yeah, I can see you. Yep, you're moving. A little laggy, but I can still see full motion.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Yeah. I'm lagging hardcore on my end. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna just do this because this is just gonna be a lot easier.
Yeah, just pull them up on your phone, and then we can just go to the sheet.
We're gonna. Yeah. Copy. Paste.
Yeah, like I say, this is still a work in progress, ladies and gentlemen. Too. I was just kind of letting them know that this is still kind of a work in progress. So while we iron out the bugs for the regular season here,
I'm working. I'm working with what I got. So at least I'm trying to provide the content for you guys. All right. If my thing will load, let me scroll down here. I don't know why Elijah picked this game, to be honest. This game we could have probably substituted out. Old Dominion travels to, I think it's Bloomington, to take on Indiana.
What's the line?
Yeah. Old Dominion... oh, God. The line is minus 23.5 for Indiana.
Yeah. Well, I think we can just kind of quickly say that Indiana should win this one.
Yeah, I'm going to just fill those in, and we'll move down. Okay, how about this game next? Next year's Air League preview in week 1 of this year. TCU versus North Carolina.
And that's, if I remember right, the Labor Day game. The Monday night game. Yeah, so while he pulls that up, it's the battle of Bill Belichick's first college game. So, yeah, like I say, this is Bill Belichick's first college game going up against TCU, which should be interesting because I have no idea what to expect from North Carolina this year. What do you have for line on this one, then?
For line, it's actually a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. It's minus 3.5 in favor of TCU.
You know what? I think I'm going to... do I want to? Screw it. Let's do this. Give me Bill Belichick in the upset.
Oh, our first difference of the week. Because Elijah, who is probably in class as we're doing this, he picked TCU.
Yeah, because is this in North Carolina or is this at Tar Heel Stadium?
So I'm gonna. This is at Kenan Stadium in Chapel Hill, yes.
But yeah, I mean, like I say, because we know how good of a coach Bill Belichick can be.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. Like I say, we're just kind of dealing with some lag here, ladies and gentlemen, so bar with us. But yeah, we all know how good Bill Belichick can be as a head coach, and plus this is the home opener, like the debut of Bill Belichick, the college coach. So either this is going to be one of the greatest upsets in, the college weekend, or they're going to get blown out by like 24. I still don't know exactly how I feel about this one yet, but I don't know. Something just tells me North Carolina in the upset here, especially with it being at Chapel Hill, too. It'd be different if it were a neutral site game.
I'm gonna take the swing here, and I'm gonna agree with Elijah here. He picked TCU. I'm also gonna pick TCU. They're geared up for a bounce back year because they had a really bad year last year. Like they were a dog walk in the Big 12. So I think this year they're geared up and ready for a good bounce back year. So give me TCU on the road and spoiling Bill Belichick's I don't think this is his first college game as a head coach. I think this is his first college game as a head coach, but I don't think this is his first college game as a coach in general. So TCU spoils Bill Belichick's return to college football. So me and Jake should jump back to the middle here.
All right, we're here.
There we go. Yeah. Apologies for the delay, guys. It was working as soon as I plugged it, running slowly.
Okay, you still hear me, Jeff?
All right, next game on. Yeah, I can still hear you. I'm just working as fast as computer is letting me.
All right.
I'm not even going to pull this one up for you guys to look at. It's Marshall at Georgia.
Georgia.
We don't even. Let's just. Yeah.
Even though that would be one hell of
the Thundering Herd. I mean, if
Georgia gets upset here, holy
if
smokes.
Georgia lost more, yeah. I am. Are we picking? Oh, we are picking this game. Next, that's actually the next game that we have on our list. Travels to Tallahassee to take on the Seminoles. And Alabama, I'm not even.
Ooh. You know what, Trev? Give me the lock for Alabama on this
anything.
One.
Hold on.
Okay.
Give you the lock for Alabama?
Yeah, lock for Alabama. And then I'll let you continue.
All right. What I'm thinking, and don't judge based on what I'm thinking as is who I'm going to pick. This just bear with me when I talk. I'm thinking that Florida can't have a one game, won one game, and that was against a team that they should have beat. They lost every other game. Horrible last season. And now they gear up and get ready to take on Alabama to open up their season. Alabama did not have a great year last year. They missed the playoff. I think they even lost their bowl game, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe. I don't know. I can't remember, honestly.
I'm checking. Yeah, because bowl season was like 8 months ago. 8-9 months ago. Last 5 game they lost to Michigan. 19-30. So, oh yeah, that's right. I remember that because Alabama went for it on 4th down. They needed the touchdown, and Michigan stopped them, and the clock ran out. I remember that.
All right.
I think Florida State is going to have a much better year. I don't think they're going to beat Bama. As much... Oh, what the heck? Hold on. Let me undo what I just did. As much as I would love to pick the upset here, I'm going to play it wise. I am going to pick Alabama to win this game. All right. Let me actually pull this one up because I suggested this one, and this one is an interest. Going as quickly as we can because I know Jake is on a little bit of a time crunch. He's got somewhere at least a 45-minute stream for you guys. I could find this game, that'd be fantastic. Oh, wait, no! This is the Thursday game that we have on here. All right. First edition of Big 10 versus Big 12. You have the Nebraska Cornhuskers traveling to Arrowhead Stadium to take on Cincinnati. Whoa. Okay, so line for you, Jake, because I know that you're not a gambling man, but you do keep track of the lines because it's always good to do that. Nebraska goes into Kansas. Oh, shoot. Did you hear what I said?
No. But now I can. I hear you again now. You cut out right before
Nebraska
you told...
goes into Kansas City as a 6.5.
Okay, 6.5? Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, I'll go ahead and kind of take over real quick here then. Kind of interesting that Nebraska and Cincinnati are playing at Arrowhead. Surprised it's not like a Kansas or K-State something or whatever, or even Missouri for that matter. But regardless, Nebraska, I mean, well, they're coming off of a relatively up year for them, at least in the last several seasons and stuff like that. I mean, they had one of the best years they had in a long time. And Cincinnati kind of coming off of a down year, considering what happened, well, last couple of seasons, especially since they moved into the Big 12. With that being said, I feel like Nebraska probably has the edge on this one, even though it is only like a touchdown advantage per se. But with that said, though, I will probably take Nebraska in this one. So.
Okay, sorry, you cut out severely, and I did not hear a word you said.
Basically, to kind of sum everything up, give me Nebraska. Just because Cincinnati kind of been having a down couple of years and stuff like that. And, yeah. So just give me Nebraska.
Yeah. I think this could go literally either way. To be honest, especially with the line only being 6.5. I'm gonna actually no, I don't want to regret that. But at the same time, I don't want to pick Nebraska. But I gotta be logical. I'm gonna be logical here. I am gonna pick Nebraska.
All right. Oh, and also just heads up, 1 sec, Trev. I'll be right back.
Okay. As Jake goes and does what he does, let me go ahead and get the next game pulled up. I think we can run through that one as well. It'll be UTSA at Texas A&M. That one should be an easy walk through in the park. I don't even think I need to pull that one up. I'm gonna go with my gut on that one. I'm gonna pick.
Alrighty, heads up, T-Money.
Oh crap!
Oh.
Hold on. 1, 2. There we go. All right. Are you back, Jake?
Yep. Like I say, the plans got moved. We're going to be going a little bit later this afternoon instead. So.
Okay, so we got more.
Especially because then that way we can actually try to do this and work through the. Yeah. Because I understand you're going through some tech gremlins yourself. Right. So. Don't mind me, just having a little bit of lunch.
No, you're good. All right. I think we can run through the next.
Yeah, give me A&M.
Yeah. All right. How about a rematch of, what is it, the 2019? Or is it 2018? I think it was the 2018 National Championship. It's from Baton Rouge, Clemson.
Yeah, I think that was the 2019 National Championship because that was Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, when they had just that stupid good offense. And they just absolutely tore up college football that year. And I will say, times are a little bit different now because LSU, while they're not horrible, it just feels like, I don't know. It feels like if what's his name? Brian Kelly. There we go. I wanted to say Chip Kelly for a second, but Brian Kelly, if he doesn't get off to a good start this year and is at least pushing for an SEC championship, he's probably going to be out of Baton Rouge sometime next year, if not sometime this year. But with that being said, though, Clemson at home, I believe, right? This is a home game for Clemson, or is this neutral?
This game is at Death Valley. So, yeah. So, you're just picking Clemson at home?
Yep.
Interesting. Oh, that's another difference. Elijah has picked the Bayou Bengals in the upset. So that is another difference added to the sheet. And you know what? Elijah, I'm on your side on this one. What did you say? You cut out.
I was just like, I like that we're taking a lot of like differences this year. It's kind of fun.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we only have 2 this week so far. Granted, I haven't looked at anything of Elijah's sheet. So far, we are similar. This one might be a difference. Virginia Tech takes on Trout. Actually, let me just get let me pull the game up real quick. We will have better equipment in a couple weeks. I promise that. I've got a computer lined up on Amazon. I have my own monitor. I have my own keyboard. We should be good next week. I just need to get a camera. I do have a camera. I just don't want to have to stand it up. All right. Next up, like I said, Virginia Tech at South Carolina. That game, I'm looking. That game is on my birthday! That game is my birthday game for me. Oh my gosh, how are we not picking? Oh, we are picking that game, thank God. Which that's the next game that we're going to pick. So bear with us as we predict that one. All right. Virginia Tech, South Carolina. South Carolina opens. It is still 7.5 in favor of South Carolina. Jake, who do you got between the Hokies and the Gamecocks?
I think I'm going to go with the Gamecocks on this one. Just because, again, it's a home game. I believe home game. And Virginia Tech is one of those interesting teams where they're never really great per se. If I remember, I think they're like an average of like 6 to 7 wins every year. But they can pull upsets and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just don't see it right away, especially because if I remember right, I think South Carolina's quarterback is one of the more athletic dogs just in college football in general. Plus, every time it's a home opener, you know there's going to be juice in the arena, which, by the way, is a home game for South Carolina, right? I haven't just been like talking nonsense for like the last minute.
No.
Or is this another neutral?
No. This will be in Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Wow, so Mercedes-Benz is hosting like 4 games this weekend then.
Yep.
Wow. I still will take South Carolina, though, just because I kind of trust their team a little bit more than Virginia Tech.
I will agree. Give me I can say what I was Gamecock out, but it's going to be closer than what people think. It'll be closer than what people think.
Mm-hmm. I will
right.
say I do agree with you on that.
Next game up is another top 10 matchup. The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame taking on the Hurricane out of Miami. That is also Monday night. That game will be down in Miami at home. I forgot Miami uses the Dolphins Stadium for their home games. Line for this game, as I get that pulled up, is 2.5 for the visitors.
Well, this matchup is always intriguing.
So it will be a 2.5 point favorite for the Irish.
Yeah, this one's going to be kind of tough because, again, I mean, I know that Cam Ward is no longer in Miami, and Notre Dame coming off of their, national championship game run, unfortunately losing to Ohio State, and what actually turned out to be a very darn good game.
Oh yeah,
I'd be kind of curious to see here because if I remember right, the Georgia quarterback from last year, Carson Beck, is now Miami's starting quarterback.
You are correct.
So he does have experience. And if I'm trying to remember who Notre Dame's quarterback is, but it just comes down to, do I trust Miami or do I trust Notre Dame more? Yeah, why don't you?
I can't look that up for you. Sorry. Actually, yeah, I can.
No,
go ahead and.
Yeah, because again, I think what it comes down to is, do I trust Miami's roster now, especially since they lost their quarterback, but they have a lot of their key players back, I believe, or do I trust Notre Dame? Because I don't know if they still have a lot of their key pieces too, because they did lose a decent amount of people. But I think I'm going to lean towards. I'm going to go with. I think I'm going to go with Miami on this one. I don't know why. Like I said, I'm going back and forth in my mind here. I think I'm going to lean more Miami on this one.
Okay. Looking at the roster here, I can't even remember the quarterback that played that helped Notre Dame make it all the way to the national championship game last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because, and like I say,
go
for it.
Sorry, because all of Notre Dame's quarterbacks, their highest classman is a sophomore.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I actually do feel a little more confident on Miami then. Just because it's like, who do you trust more, Notre Dame or Miami? They always seem to be like the two teams of like college football, where they should be national championship contenders, but they could also slip up against Northern Illinois.
But even
you just can never trust
Northern Illinois, how'd their season end?
Exactly. But like I say, we're just picking this week, not the entire season. And with it being week 1, we don't know what the rosters look like.
Yeah. And I do know that the CFP committee is actually going to punish teams more for losses like that. So Notre Dame losing to Northern Illinois will severely affect how the rest of their season will go in the eyes of the CFP.
Mm-hmm. which makes sense. I mean,
So,
especially now with Group of Fives getting automatic bids too.
Yeah, but then again, we all know that at least the Group of 4 is at least going to get a bid. All the conference titles are at least going to get a bid. It just won't be 1, 2, 3. It just won't be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that fifth one.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
It'll be
the top 5 teams, regardless of who.
Yeah,
so
but I can also see them still. I can see them still doing the auto bids for conference titles, but you don't get the automatic buy. So, like, you'll get placed between 5 through 12. That's how I see it. My prediction name and Miami. This game can, like I said, Jake said this earlier. I will say this as well. This game can literally go any. As I said in a predictions video, what was it, last year's when I said this? I got the Lord on my side. Give me the Irish head. And then still the funniest video that I've ever seen him make of me. That was by far the funniest thing. All right.
That was a classic.
Do we want to do the Iowa teams in South Dakota before Texas and Ohio State, or do we want to do them after?
Let's do South Dakota, Iowa State first.
So the Coyotes, number 5 in the FCS rankings, traveled to Ames against a battle-tested, excuse me, battle-tested, gutsy win. I have a feeling I know where you're going with this, Jake, and I think, and I'm going to have to disagree with you if I know where you're going with this. So make your pick here.
Well, again, as much as I would love to pick South Dakota in the upset, I think the last time, let's put it this way. Last time USD actually did beat an FBS team, that was Bowling Green in 2017. And like I say, while this isn't going to be necessarily a blowout, I feel USD is going through some of their changes as well. I mean, they still have, ironically enough, a former Iowa State commit in Aiden Bauman as their starting quarterback. And then, obviously going to Ames is never an easy place to play. Coming off of a very, very hard-fought, very gutsy, very tough condition win in Dublin against who a lot of people were considering to be one of the top contenders in the Big 12, and still can be. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Big 12 is, T-Money can also attest, the Big 12 is one of the toughest divisions in all of college football to predict, because realistically, you could have 10 teams be the 1 seed, or they're all just battling to see who wants it the least, and whoever's just at the top will win it. You never know year in and year out. So with that being said, I have to take the Cyclones here just because it's the smarter pick. But I would not be surprised if Iowa State or...
Okay, so no difference in this game. Elijah smartly picked. I actually don't know where I was going with that thought. Never mind. Actually, yeah, I kind of do. Iowa State really dug deep to beat that Kansas State team, who was ranked higher than them. Let's remember that. Kansas State opened this season at number 17 in the nation. that loss to Iowa State is going to affect them because they have a cupcake game this week. That should be a walk in the park. So they are going to magnify that loss to Iowa State. And agreed with the Big 12 being one of the toughest conferences to pick in all of college football. This conference, the last week of last season, had 5 teams tied for first. Arizona State, Iowa State, Colorado, Kansas State, and BYU were all tied at the top. I might be wrong on Kansas State, but Kansas State was, because Iowa State had to beat Kansas State, and Kansas State needed a lot to go their way in order to make it to the Big 12 title game. So if college football can be like that every single conference, oh my God, this sport would be the number one watched sport in all of sports. Like, that would be hands down the best thing to watch at the tail end. But yes, Iowa State, after battle tested against Kansas State, takes on a very tough FCS opponent, which typically they're never usually this tough. But you got a team like South Dakota, and then next season you have a South Dakota State team gearing up to come play you guys in Ames. So that game we should be ready for. But yes, I will pick the Cyclones. I will never divert from Iowa State unless I need to. I had to once. But yeah, give me Iowa State. All right, do we want to do Northern Iowa or Iowa next?
I feel like this is going to be the easiest.
All right. Northern Iowa actually takes on a team from the Pioneer League. They play Butler. So Northern Iowa is going to give Drake a very good look. We aren't picking Drake this year, which sucks because I was really not going to be able to, unfortunately. But Northern Iowa plays host to Butler to open up their season. I think it's easy to pick that we can. I think Northern Iowa can easily get this win. They've had a couple down years the past couple of years. I'm going to pick Northern Iowa to easily walk away with the win in a much needed.
All righty. Yeah, like I said, I'm also going to go with Northern Iowa on this one. Pretty much for the same reasons that Trevor said. Yeah, this is kind of a needed win. They're kind of at a crossroads of where they want to be, I guess. I don't know, what the direction is or this, that, or the other thing. Because really, I haven't followed Northern Iowa a lot just because I can't remember. I don't think we played them last year, but I think USD plays them this year. Regardless, we'll get into that when we get into that. But yeah, give me Northern Iowa on this one.
All right. Did you have an upset pick yet? I don't remember who you picked.
Yes, I do.
Was that North Carolina?
Yes.
Okay. Let me add that real quick. There we go. All right. So your upset pick is North Carolina. You and I don't have a lock this week.
No, my lock was Bama.
Oh, your lock is Bama. Okay. I didn't hear that. Granted, technical difficulties, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
All right.
Because if I remember, that's like about the top end of where we can lock. It's like no more than, 2 scores? Something like that?
Yeah, it's 13.5. I think we said 15.5 and lower we can do locks.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, and by the way, that rule that we have implied, if it does go above the spread that we have said after we record, the lock is still eligible.
Yeah, because Yeah, lines change all the time. It's hard to
Yeah.
judge.
I think I know who my lock's going to be. Yeah, I think I know who my lock's going to be. And Elijah's actually going to be surprised that I picked them as my lock. You all. Well, let's preview the last couple games first, because one of the two is my lock. Yo, actually no, I can't even make that one my lock. Never mind. That kind of gave away as to which one my lock is, so I need to change my lock. Albany travels to Kinnick to take on the Hawkeyes. I think we all can roll. We can obviously easily roll with Iowa on this one.
Yeah.
All right. Final game of the week that we are predicting. I'm surprised we didn't throw Boise State on here, because that game would have been kind of an interesting one to pick. Texas travels to Columbus. Number 1 versus number 3. Texas, Ohio State, rematch of last year's semifinal game.
I believe it was
this
a semis,
time, yeah. Arch Manning takes over. Yeah. This time, Arch Manning takes over as quarterback. Oh my God. The line for this game is Ohio State by 1.5. Okay. I'll take this one first, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
Ohio State, coming off their national championship, had to go through Texas and Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers, however the hell you pronounce his last name, is no longer on Texas. He is in the NFL. Ohio State also has lost key pieces to the draft. This is a game that is important for both sides. For Texas, as the first time being nationally ranked number 1, surprisingly, to open up to open up this season. I think that they've been number 1 before, haven't they?
I'm pretty sure they have, but like I say, I mean, this thing goes back a long time too. Like, I'm pretty sure during the Vince Young era, I wouldn't be surprised if they were number 1 even then.
So, and then, what's up, Wendy? We're actually about to wrap up here. Ohio State has a lot to defend here. That is their national title. You know what? I might regret doing this. This will be our video. Give me Ohio State as my lock.
Spicy. I like it.
That makes difference number 4. Because Elijah is riding with the horns. Jake, what do you got?
I'm going to go with, as much as this kind of pains me to say, hook 'em horns. I'm going with Texas in this one too, because, again, Arch Manning at least has some experience. If I remember right, Ohio State's quarterback is literally like a true freshman, or is he a redshirt? Anyway, regardless, he's in one of his first years, and I don't think he has a lot of experience. At least Arch has been in a few games and stuff like that. Plus, hey, if Arch is everything that everybody says he is, this is the kind of game that gets you on the map. This is the kind of game that gives you that Heisman push. This is the game that you're supposed to have your coming out part. Because, I mean, the national media has been hyping up Texas something fierce. Like, a lot of people, especially like ESPN and like the ESPN college game shows and like stuff like that, are predicting Texas to be, if not the national champs, in the national championship game. And a lot of people are predicting that Arch Manning could be the next all-time great quarterback. So if you want to live up to that hype, Arch, this is a game you have to have. And if he does, cool. Then he is that guy. Granted, I'm also not going to necessarily flame him if he fails on this one, but it's just one of those things where if you can win this game, then you've officially arrived. Because Ohio State's still not going to be a slouch. I mean, they're literally the national champs. Even if they did lose some pieces, they're still the national champs. So, give me Arch and Texas in this one.
This game can be such a coin flip. I'm literally picking this because Ohio State had a team that said that they were going to make it Neyland North last year. And Ohio State was like, nah, shut that down right now. So I think Ohio State's going to be ready for a team like Texas. Now, are they going to be ready for a team like Michigan? We don't know. They've lost to Michigan for the last 4 years. But anyway, that's going to do it for us. Oh, actually, let's mention this real quick because I did put this in the title of the stream. Lee Corssos makes his final college game day appearance. He will officially retire. And it's time that we see him, ticking. I hate to make this dark, but typically when stuff like this happens, not too long afterward, and it's their final appearance in public. So, Jake, I'm going to ask you this. What was your favorite moment that Lee Corssos has had on game day if you had been able to watch game day?
Well, I've watched quite a few of them. I just, not going to lie, I always love seeing what he does. Like, it's not so much a moment as it is just kind of the whole thing in general, because I always love when he does the not so fast too. Like, when he's about to contradict someone or, basically take an opposite take on whoever said what, like the take before or whatever. That made any sense? Regardless, I always kind of liked his more, like, he's not he always puts passion into it. He's one of those all-time classics. He's one of those, he's just going to be one of those all-time classics. I mean, he's been doing this a long time. He started what, a lot of people look forward to. I think he started this over 30 years ago. So generations of people grew up watching Lee Corssos' head pick just to see who he picks for the game of the week. And then, it's always fun seeing him because he always brings like an energy. He always brings a youthful attitude, even, during some tougher times and stuff like that. He was always that brilliant, but good luck in retirement. Hopefully you still got a few good years ahead of you, man, and hopefully we'll see you around, Here's to finally retiring probably 20 years after he probably should have originally. But anyway, that's a different story for a different day. But again, we love you, Lee. Thank you.
That last comment hurt, Jake. Okay, one of my favorite moments that Lee Corssos has had on College Game Day. I'm going to say the location, and it should give you the moment immediately. They went to Houston.
Was that Houston, Iowa State a couple of years ago?
SMU versus Houston.
Yeah, I must not remember that.
Okay, so Lee Corssos was getting ready to make his pick. He said, and I quote, "How can you not pick SMU? Red, white, and blue. USA. USA." Gets ready to blow the SMU horn, and then literally says, and I quote him here, "Ah, fuck it," and then puts on the Cougar head. He actually had to do a freaking and a public apology after he did it on the game right after it.
Ooh.
He was like, "I apologize for my language." I know there was another moment like where I don't know where they were at, but fucking Kirk was talking about something, and Lee goes over, looks at him, and then he goes, "These people don't give a shit." If you remember that one.
Yeah, no, I can't say I remember that one either.
I don't remember where that one was at, but like, oh my god, kind of funny. I don't know how many times that Lee Corssos has been fined by ESPN for swearing on national television, but I'm pretty sure that he didn't give a crap.
No, he didn't. And in some respects, I think that kind of makes it more fun, which is why they are starting to get more personalities like Pat McAfee's, and even as much as you may not like him, Dave Portnoy, because they're getting more people that are just like general people and not, I wouldn't say robots is the right word, but, they're getting more people with personality who, are very polarized. And Lee was sort of one of those guys who didn't really care what he said. And, they kind of groomed like the Pat McAfee's and Portnoy's, I guess, to be like, hey, screw it. I'm going to say how I feel, regardless of who cares.
Yeah. Do we see the return of the headgear pick long after Corso is gone?
It's hard to say because, in my opinion, nothing will top Lee Corssos doing the headgear stuff. But I could see them doing something else. I could potentially, like in 20, 30 years. It's always so hard to predict because it's so hard to predict with college football and football in general. So I think they'll probably take the rest of this year off, or they'll do something else to kind of, fill, like, maybe not comedic effect, but just, that change, because the Lee Corso headgear was always something unique and interesting, but they might do something different as, like, their stamp on it. So, who knows, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. All right. Well, any final thoughts before we sign off for our first official, our first numbered?
Well, I really don't have a whole lot else to say. I mean, other than we're officially back to, we're almost back to normal, because once we get to week 2, then everything's a little bit more subdued. It's not, craziness and, stuff like that. We get back to that routine again, and yeah, like I say, we made it. College football is back. We're only a week away from the NFL, and fall as we know it.
We're almost a month from the greatest game on ice. I'm waiting for.
All right.
I was 100% waiting for the amen on that one, but it never came. Dang it! All right, guys. Well, that's gonna do it for us for week 1 of college football predictions. Week 2, we should be back to a normal, somewhat schedule for predictions next week. We just got to work around work schedules and all of that.
Yep.
Other than that, I think we're signing off for now. Thank you guys for tuning into the stream. We hopefully have better quality streams in a couple weeks. pray. Just pray. Just pray. Just pray. Just pray. Just pray. Just pray. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Me, Jake, and Elijah like to call it Cyhawk Week. See you guys next week, folks.